Okay, here we go with 5.4b, and we are starting out with product of matrices. And again, I teach this way different than what the book does or anywhere I've ever seen it taught before, just because it makes it easier to kind of figure out how to keep things orderly so you don't make simple mistakes because of being a little bit confused. All right, so what we're going to do here is first of all let you know what kind of matrices can be multiplied. All right, so you can only multiply matrices when the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So, for example, if we have a 3 by 2 matrix, it can only be multiplied by a 2 by whatever matrix. All right, meaning these two numbers have to be the same in order to multiply these matrices. I don't care what these numbers are. These two have to be the same. The column number and the row number, the column number of the first matrix, the row number of the second matrix have to be the same or you cannot multiply. Okay, and there isn't something else that you can get here. This number and this number will tell you that you have a 3 by 4 matrix as an answer. Okay, so you get 2 bits of information just from knowing the order of each matrix. You know whether or not you can multiply it, and you know what the matrix will look like. 3 rows, 4 columns. Okay? Very, very, very important piece of information if you're going to follow my method of doing that. So that's what I always suggest doing. Students, underneath the matrix, write the matrix order, a 3 by 2 or a 2 by 3 or whatever for each one, and then that will help you to determine whether or not you can even multiply them, and if you can, what your matrix answer will be, what order your matrix answer will be. Okay, so let's get started on this. So for example 6, there's our 3 matrices, and the first one, A, asks us to multiply A times B. Now it would be real nice if we could just take 3 times 1, 1 times what? Okay, that's the problem. You can add and subtract matrices if they have the same columns and rows, but in multiplication they don't have to have the same columns and rows, but you can still multiply. All right, so what are we going to do here? First of all, we're going to write our order. That's a 2 by 3. This is a 3 by 2, and this is a 2 by 2. All right, we're multiplying this one and this one. And what do we know here? We know that this number and this number are the same, so that means we get an answer. We also know that we have this and this, so our answer is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. All right, so what I do is I start writing the answer first. And I just put a blank there, a blank there, a blank there, and a blank there to let me know that I've got a 2 by 2, and each one of these blanks is going to have a number in it. So where do I get the number? Okay, so what I do is I look and see what position this number is in. This number right here is in row 1, column 1, right? Very important to know that. It's in row 1, column 1. That means in this A and B, when I multiply, all I care about is row 1 and column 1. Okay, that's all I'm worried about. That set of numbers that I just circled in red will tell you what number is actually going to go in there when we do something to it. So how do we get the number that's supposed to go in here? Okay, we take each one of the terms here and multiply it by each of the terms here and then add them. Okay, so what that means is we're going to take the first number in this row times the first number in that column. Take the second number in this row times the second number here. first number here times the second number here. So that gives me -1 times -2 plus 2. So the number here is an 8. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now, let's say I want this number right there. Let's do this one in green. So we are in the first row here, or I'm sorry, second row here, first column. So all I'm interested in, I'm going to do it in green, second row, first column, and I'm going to do the same thing. The first number times the first number plus second number times the second number plus third number times third number. That gives me a -4 for that number. Okay? Alright, let's keep going here. I'm going to do this one in red. It's nice that I can do it in different colors here. Maybe a different color red, maybe more of a purple. Alright, so now I'm looking for this number. It's in row 1, so it's in row 1, and it's in column 2. Column 2. Alright, so first number times first number plus second number plus third number. So that gives me a 9 there. Okay, now let's see if I can make some room here, get rid of some of this stuff, and see if I can. It just takes so much time. That was a -4, right? Okay, so let's see. Last one. Let's do it. What color have I not used? I haven't really used a yellow. So let's use kind of this color yellow. Alright, so we're looking for this number right here. We're in the second row, first column. So second row, the 2 0 3s in the second row, and we're looking for the second column. Okay, so what are we going to do? 2 times 6 plus 0 times -5 plus 3 times 4. So I get 2 times 6 plus 0 times -5 plus 3 times 4 is 12. So that gives me a 24 here. So this is my answer to the product of A times B. Okay? Alright, so of course we've got to do a couple of these just to make sure you kind of got this. I'm going to do part B here. This is B times A. Now I'm going to do B times C, which is the C portion here. And one of the things that you'll notice in B times C, let me erase this stuff first. Okay, so C says we're going to take B times C. So let's see if it's even possible. This is a 3 by 2, and this is a 2 by 2. So these numbers are the same, so it's possible, and we're going to get a 3 by 2 for an answer. Alright, so knowing all that information, let's go ahead and keep this clean. We can erase all that. I know I'm getting a 3 by 2 for an answer. So I'm going to put my 3 by 2, whoops, make this a little bigger. So 3 by 2. That's the answer. Alright, and I'm just concerned about these two matrices right there. Alright, so again, this number right there is in the position row 1, column 1. So I'm going to look at row 1, column 1. So I'm going to take 1 times 4 plus 6 times 1. So that gives me a 10 there. Okay. So not too bad. Let's see, and let's just look at a completely different one. Let's look at this one. That is in the position 2 by 2. So what I'm interested in, second row, second column. So 3 times -6 plus -5 times 2. So -18 plus -10 gives me a -28. Okay? If I was interested in this place right here, I just look and say row 2. So row 2, or row 3, I'm sorry, row 3. What column is it? It's column 2 in the second one. Column 2. So it makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where to get your numbers. So each one of these spaces has a row that you take off the first matrix, and a column you take off the second one. And then you just multiply by the corresponding first number in that row, first number in that column, second number in that row, second number in that column, and add them together. And that's pretty much it as far as these are concerned. Now I could keep going and going and going and doing these, but in fact, let's look at number 26 in the homework. So the homework says find the product if possible. So this is a 3 by 3 and this is a 3 by 3. These are the same, so I know it's possible, and my answer is going to be a 3 by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to get 9 different places here. So I'm not going to do this whole thing, but let's say we want to find this spot right there. Okay, what number goes in that spot? And it doesn't matter. You can do it in any order you want. So this spot is in row 3, column 2. Row 3, column 2. So first number in row 3, 0, times the first number in column 2. Second number in row 3 times the second number in column 2, plus the third number in row 3 times the third number in column 2. So that number is going to be -4 plus 0 plus 0. So -4 is going to go right there. So you have to do it for all 9 of these spaces here, but it's a lot easier trying to figure this out this way than any other way I've found. All right, so we've got 2 more pieces of this, and then we'll be done. The first part is example 7, where we're doing another story problem, but these story problems aren't too bad. And then we're going to do matrix equations, which is just a little tiny bit of an intro to what we're going to be doing later.